Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. Hope everybody had a great Easter last weekend. For those of you that celebrate the Easter holiday, we did not have our podcast last week because Alex was enjoying Easter holidays with the family. So,
You know, the coincidental thing about that is then we celebrated Easter with my parents today.
yeah, so that's what funny because
Lots of Easters.
Hugo said that y'all were going over there today, so I was like, they're probably doing Easter stuff.
Yeah, lots of Easters, and I'm finally figuring out a little bit of my podcast setup.
There we go.
But we don't have a finished product yet. But
it's a work in progress. It's a new house. We'll get there.
I don't look like I'm in a jail cell.
That's true. Good. There is decoration now, so it looks less like solitary confinement and more like an office.
Less like Guantanamo.
Yeah.
And look, I gotta show you real quick. Got my TV hung up over there.
Oh, nice, dude.
Got the PS5.
Let's get the setup, dude.
Yeah. I'm like the stepchild that they put in the utility room, but that's okay.
Harry Potter.
The girls can have the rest of the house, and I will be in the utility room if you need me.
Combo said you looked like you were hanging with Andrew Tate last time.
Hey, listen, my business with Mr. Tate is my business, okay, Combo? You just stay out of it. All right, man. I, for one, am an alpha. I thought I just...
What's up? Did we lose him? Might have lost him for a second. That's okay. I'm going to ask the question that he was going to ask, chat. Ben, why? Never mind. I just muted myself for that whole bit, and now I ruined it. Frick. Why? Okay. What? Okay. Bye, Alex. We'll see him in a second. He'll figure it out. Anyways. Oh, there he's back. Is he back?
To turn my computer off.
How did you manage? Charlie did?
No, I did.
How did you manage that?
I have an all-in-one, and I was moving the monitors. I'm trying to get set up because I look like I'm off fucking center, and I hit the power button. I can still hear you talking, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, okay." I just like turned off the immediate TV or the immediate picture, and then it was gone.
All right, fine. We're back now.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
Anyway,
Okay.
Ben, why is your shirt so cool? Oh, because I was playing golf today. That's why. Thanks for asking.
Oh, Ben, why? Oh, Tiger Woods. I get it.
Oh yeah,
How-
Tiger.
How'd that round go?
Actually, it went pretty well. The front nine was, I say the front nine was actually the back nine because I started on 10 today. I shot 43 on that, and then a 50 on the second nine, which I was not too happy about. But a 93 is still my best overall round, so we'll take it.
Hey, 93 is a solid round for somebody who's just starting. Although a lot of guys struggle to break 100.
Yeah, so I'm at 93. Yeah, I shot at a 93 today. My round started off really hot. I went par, and I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna be a
Damn,
good day.
dude.
It's gonna be a
Out of
good
the
day."
gates.
Yeah, out of the gates, par, and I was like, "Okay, all right." And then I think I just got tired towards the end of the back nine.
Now,
And
is that a true 93, or do you have any mulligans in there? Tell me a little bit about
it's
your
a-
mulligan game.
it's a pretty true 93. I really only took one mulligan.
Okay.
And I think I'm trying to remember. I think the only mulligan I took is because I hit a shot and it was off to the right on the other side of the cart path, and I went down there to go look for my ball, and there was people playing the other hole coming the opposite way, and I think one of them ended up playing my ball because I could not find it. I tracked it the whole way over there.
Oh, so that's not even a mulligan. That's a free drop.
Yeah, so it was like basically a
difference.
free drop because I was like, the frick is my ball? I watched it land over here and I could not find it.
Yeah, there's a rule that a lot of golfers and I subscribe to where it's the ESPN camera rule. So if there was ESPN cameras out there, it would have tracked your shot and it would have been in the open and it would have been findable.
True.
Yeah, so
True. Yeah. So
now
I
if
don't
it's in
know.
the tall grass, different story, But if
Yeah.
it's just out in the open and you saw the ball go over there and it's not there, take a free
Yeah.
drop and move on.
Yeah, it was over there in between some trees that like are bordered the right side of the hole I was on, and they bordered the left side of the hole next. And I got over there and I was like, where is this thing?
That's a lot different than hitting a bad tee shot and then saying, "Well, I'm just going to hit another one," and then playing that one as your
Yeah.
first tee shot.
Now, so
That's
if
like
I
a
do,
93 with an asterisk.
yeah,
Pretty heavy asterisk.
yeah, big asterisk. So when I do that, if I do that, I will count the drop against myself when I play.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
not one of
telling
the
you.
guys that goes out there and like, oh, I shot an 85 today, and they freaking mulliganed all over the place, and every time they hit an errant shot, they just were like, fuck it, free drop.
And I got no problem if people want to play like that.
Yeah,
play
because you
your
want to
game,
play
but
for
then
fun, but don't tell me that you just shot the best round of your life and like hype it up when all you did was take drops all over the place.
that's the thing is those are the same guys that like in the clubhouse later are like, "Oh yeah, I shot 87 out there." Like, nah. Did you shoot 87?
Probably you mean
Did you?
You mean 107?
Hey, if it's gonna help you sleep tonight, I mean, whatever. But
Like, don't brag
there's
about it.
handicaps for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's on the downswing. I'm at 25.2 after today's round.
That's handicaps. I like having a high handicap. That way, when Hugo and I play tournaments at the club,
Yeah.
I have a high handicap, and guys have to give me strokes.
I'm the
you
ringer
know?
for that. That's why I got the huge, I got the big handicap. Because if we look at it, I'll pull it up today. I'll pull it up. So I shot 93 gross today. With my handicap, my net was a 66, baby. 4 under the course, what the par for the course is.
Yes.
So, yeah.
By
I'm
the way,
just out there.
Combo, thanks for stopping by. I was just thinking the other day. It's been a while since Combo's been around on the
True.
live stream.
It has indeed.
Thanks for swinging by, and as always, Mother Ben,
Yeah,
Love
mom's
you.
here.
love you.
Love you, mom.
I was just with my mother, and she said she was going to be watching, so
She'll be on it.
don't know where she is. Hey, not to jump right into it, but just going to jump right into it.
Send it, dude, because I was about to ask what you had for us.
How about the Dalai Lama telling that kid to suck his tongue, huh?
That was pretty weird. That was, yeah, he had to really fucking backtrack. And that was like, no, my mom does not have a musical. that
Her
was from
name is
like a.
Alexander Hamilton on
I know it.
YouTube for those of you just
Yeah.
listening at home. We're like, what are you talking about?
The hell are you talking about? Yeah. No. That was from like back in February, or actually was a while ago, and it resurfaced again.
Yeah.
And so he had to apologize for. So a spokesperson for the Dalai Lama apologized on his behalf, basically, and was like, whenever he does shit like that, basically, it's they said it was like in some joking and playful manner, but I was like, that's you don't joke with kids like that. That's weird.
Yeah, and
That's weird. Like
I've listened to quite a few podcasts talking about it this week. Some serious, some not.
mm-hmm.
And one of the ones I was listening to is like, well, maybe that's like a turn of phrase, in his language, and maybe like the cultures don't connect.
Uh-huh.
And then somebody, this shows my ignorance. I don't even know what language she speaks. Somebody commented a lot smarter than me and was like, that's not a turn of phrase. Like that pretty much translates straight into like if you were speaking English and you said, hey kid, suck my tongue. Like, obviously he was kind of joking with them, like, give me a kiss on the cheek, give me a kiss on the cheek. Okay, now suck my tongue. It's like, fucking bro, back up a little bit, dude.
My man
you jumped a lot of steps there.
Went 0 to 100 very fast.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. And another thing, Dalai Lama didn't want to be the only religious leader not to be a predator. Hey, if you can't beat him, join him, I guess, right?
I'm Chris Hansen. This is To Catch a Predator.
Another thing surfaced about him. They were talking about the last time that somebody tried to like cancel the Dalai Lama, and apparently he was talking about how, in his religion, I think it's his religion, or maybe he was talking about priests, or somebody asked him about the concept of marriage, because I don't think he's ever been married.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know I think it's a religious thing where he's like married to God or whatever, like in the similar priest fashion. And he's talking about like divorce, and I've had a lot of friends who have gotten divorced, and then their wife leaves, and then they end up taking all their money, and it's a really bad thing. And basically a woman reporter was like, women make money too. And he basically was like, ha, good joke. And like brushed it off. And they were like, yeah, hey, Dolly, no, don't say that, bro. Like, you can't say that anymore. So not the first time somebody's tried to come after the old Dalai Lama.
That's wild.
And there's been other stories that he's really like not that great of a guy. I don't know. I'm not educated enough about it. This is all just hearsay that I've heard on other podcasts. But yeah, apparently he hasn't been like that great of a guy his whole life. They were also talking about how Mother Teresa, like,
this is Hansen catches the llama.
Where the fuck does that name come from? Google that for me real quick, would you? Yeah. Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head. I might have known at some point, but I don't remember now. Origins of the Dalai Lama. Okay, or Dalai Lama history.
Because there was another... They were talking about... Macrodosing is the specific podcast that I'm talking about, which if you haven't listened to Macrodosing, it's a really good podcast, actually. It's a Barstool podcast. They did a deep dive that I didn't listen to about Mother Teresa and how she was actually kind of like a bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I've heard stuff about that before. Okay, so who gave the name Dalai Lama? So it means ocean teacher.
Ocean teacher?
And it started by the Mongol chieftain Altan in 1580. So if there's other thing, origin of the title Dalai Lama and its related backgrounds, this is from a government website. It says Dalai in the Mongolian language means sea, and Lama in the Tibetan means living Buddha. So, but he's ocean teacher basically.
he's like not the first one, right? Like there's a Dalai
No,
Lama.
he's the
Like
14th iteration.
yeah, and what I understand about it is when he dies, how they pick the new one is they like go to a bunch of kids because they believe that the new Dalai Lama is that old one reincarnated.
Mm.
So they like go to a bunch of kids and show these kids like stuff that the Dalai Lama had or like things that he would recognize. And they're like, "Hey kid, do you recognize this stuff?" And if one of them's like, "Oh yeah, that's mine." They're like, "That's it. That's him. He's the new one. That's the new Dalai Lama." You might want to Google that too, just to make sure that I'm right. But I've got this Mother Teresa shit pulled up. You might want to Google that just to make sure that's right. But I'm pretty sure. Again, it shows you. I was literally just got home. I played a little indoor soccer in our new basement with Reagan and Kristen when I got home.
When the Dalai Lama dies, or even before their death, a successor is found rather than chosen. Traditionally, senior Tibetan monks conduct an elaborate quest to find the child who is the Dalai Lama's next incarnation. The search involves consulting oracles, interpreting visions, and reading spiritual signs.
Yes. So they basically show these kids a bunch of shit.
It took 4 years to find the current Dalai Lama.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids to interview. A lot of tongues to be sucked, brother. That's not nice. Child sexual exploitation is not funny. Lord forgive me. I apologize. Christ. Ben liked that one. See, we're just riffing, just boys riffing. Kids and tongues and old men, you know?
Worse.
Oh, we're never gonna book another guest again.
Just snowballing into just not.
Oh boy. Anyway, yeah.
I can put
so someday when he dies, they will interview a bunch of kids and then they'll find the new one. I just thought the Dalai Lama was like one guy and he was super old. Again, shows how completely ignorant I am.
Yeah.
But your mom
said next topic.
Sorry. Yeah, and Mother Teresa wasn't that good of a person either, apparently.
Yeah, she did all this great work, and apparently she was just a huge bitch.
According to two British journalists, Christopher Hitchens and Tariq Ali, produced a critical British channel.
BBC?
British Channel 4. I don't know. That must be... Oh, British Channel 4? Anyway, called Hell's Angel.
It's a very
they
title.
Published the missionary position. Ooh, Mother Teresa in theory and practice. That's... I wonder if they were trying to be...
That's
innuendo
deadpan humor. Yes.
Okay, yeah, it has to be, right? There's no way you miss the missionary position, Mother Teresa in theory and practice.
No,
a book that repeated many of the accusations in the documentary. Chatterjee published the final verdict. So this was a other guy. This is an Indian author and physician. These two British guys were basically commenting and building on this Chatterjee guy who published the final verdict book, I'm assuming, in 2003. A less than polemical, don't know what that word means, work than those of Hitchens and Ali, but equally critical of Teresa's operations. In 2003, after Teresa was beatified, there are a lot of words in here. I don't know what this means.
No, that basically means she got sainthood from the fucking Catholic Church.
Oh, okay, cool. John Paul II. He gave that to her. Hitchens continued his criticism, calling her a fanatic, a fundamentalist, and a fraud. He further criticized the Catholic Church for attributing the recovery of a patient to a miracle and for ignoring the testimony of the patient's doctor who attributed the recovery of his patient to modern medicine. Yeah, so people have called her a fanatic, a fundamentalist, and a fraud. Is she still alive?
No.
No, yeah, she died, right?
She died. Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah. A relationship with controversial public figures. Yeah. Anyway, you never know. If you can't trust fucking Mother Teresa and the Dalai Lama, who can you trust these days? You know?
Not very many people. All right. So
Old
we're
world
moving on
out
from
there.
the Dalai Lama. What's next? What else did you have for us?
Oh, a lot of stuff. What else? This is just off the top of my head. You know, Trump's running for president again, and that's going to be fun to watch.
We all knew that was coming.
I'm getting kind of excited to watch it again. It's one of those like nervous excitements where I'm like, oh, the country's going to be in big turmoil again. But boy, is it fun to watch. And everybody knows at this point in time, I'm not a fan of Trump. I most likely will not vote for him. I mean, I don't know who the candidates are or if he's even going to make it. But it would be sick in the sense that it would be the most fun to watch if he wasn't the primary candidate for the Republicans and he ran his third party.
Yeah.
But it's going to be him and old DeSanctimonious.
Yeah. Him and DeSantis are going to vie for the Republican National Convention's nomination, and then Biden again, I guess.
Yeah, who knows if they don't kill him.
Or if he doesn't just have his brain leak out of his ears now.
It's getting worse every day, dude.
No, actually, I saw something very recently. I don't know. When did so did Biden went to Ireland recently, right? Was that recent?
Yes.
Okay. I figured it was recent enough that I saw a video about it.
Oh, this was during St. Patrick's Day.
Did you
right?
see the walkout they did for him?
Yeah.
It was hilarious. Yeah, last week, dude. It was like the video I saw was like, bro, Ireland just gave Biden the WWE treatment for his walkout. Basically, but they played the song that's like that plays for the Sam Adams commercials.
Yeah.
The song they played, and Biden's walking out, and everybody's like losing their shit, and Biden's just like,
dude, he should have come out.
What is happening, dude? Is it a concert? Is Biden gonna start singing? Like, what's happening here?
Oh, we haven't even talked since then. It was right after that shooting, another school shooting in Tennessee.
Yeah, it was the one in Tennessee. There was two happened recently in Tennessee.
And he came down to give that press conference. Granted, to his defense, it was a scheduled press conference, but the shooting had just happened, and they had told him about the shooting, and apparently he was like going to address the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And he came down, and he was like, I'm Joe Biden. You might know me. I'm a husband of Dr. Jill Biden. And I came down here because I heard there was ice cream. They told me there was ice cream. Chocolate chip ice cream. You think I'm joking? You think I'm I'm Joe Biden. I came down because I heard there was chocolate. I got a whole freezer full of chocolate chip ice cream upstairs. It's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You fucking lunatic. Again, I don't mean to laugh, but this is in the wake of a school shooting, and I get it. It's not like a press briefing. Like, he didn't have time to prepare to speak about a school shooting, but maybe don't open with I only came down here because I heard there was chocolate chip ice cream. You fucking idiot. Bro,
maybe leave that part of the speech out. Oh my god.
Yeah, maybe skip the fucking comedy routine. Oh my gosh, dude. Yeah,
it's not good.
I don't know. I don't think they can prop him up there for another go round.
They can't. I mean they can. They shouldn't.
But not running with him is basically excuse me, an admission in their eyes that it's a weakness and it's kind of like a defeat. And
Yeah,
obviously, your odds of going 2 terms versus throwing somebody new up there is 2 terms is a lot easier because the guy's already won once. But
yeah.
and Kamala ain't gonna do it. People don't like her
Everybody
any more
hates
than
her.
they do him. Um,
Yeah,
so
everybody hates Kamala.
it's gonna be interesting, brother. It's
Yeah, not gonna be
gonna
great.
be
Not
interesting.
gonna be great. I've enjoyed watching everyone lose their minds about that kid that leaked state secrets.
Oh yeah. How about your
Which
all-time greatest backfires?
so everyone has been losing their minds because nobody understands how it works. They're like, this kid shouldn't even have top secret clearance. What do we just do? Give it to everybody? And you're like, yeah, depending on your job in the military, yes, some people are required to have top secret clearance. And
Yeah,
when they
and
do
the
your background checks, it's way easier to do a background check on an 18-year-old and give them top secret clearance than it is on someone that's my age and try and give top secret clearance because they don't have to go back hardly any time at all on an 18-year-old to do it. There's only so far they can go back.
and
For
it's
me,
kind of
they've got to go
hard.
back like 10 plus years to look through all of my shit, which I'm an angel, but
Angel and a saint, if you ask me. Except when you put that tiger shirt on, baby. Not so much of an angel in that puppy, brother. Oh yeah, fire that bad boy up. What was I gonna say? Oh, and it's kind of hard to predict a dude getting in a Discord chat and basically trying to flex on it in a Discord chat and be like, "Oh, I do have the documents. Oh, you don't believe me? Bam, post them." And then some kid's like, "Oh shit, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take these and put them on another platform."
yeah,
And fucking the FBI is gonna be at your house in a hot minute.
yeah,
You're fucked.
yeah. And it's like it wasn't even like, I mean, it was secret stuff, but it wasn't secret because like national security. It was basically secret because it was documents of us just spying on our allies, which everyone knows we do anyway. But
Yeah,
it was secrets
it,
because they didn't want people to know that like that's what we were doing.
and people calling him a hero, like, "Oh, the
Yeah, he's the
government shouldn't
next
have anything to
fucking
hide."
what's his face?
Oh, Snowden? Yeah,
Yeah,
do not. Edward Snowden completely. And you could even make the case, again, not I'm not making the case, but I've heard the case made that Snowden was committing some form of treason by leaking these documents because he had signed NDAs and
yeah,
everything, but he thought it was in the public's best interest to know that the government is harvesting your data and basically keeping a profile on everyone and spying on your text messages and basically everything you do online the government can find and see what
yes,
you're doing and they're not telling you about it. They were not being honest about it.
of course we
That is a completely fucking different story than what this kid did,
yeah,
which was just leak information that wasn't even really valuable information to like the American public,
and
and now he's going to go to jail.
maybe to our adversaries, but
Yeah, maybe.
maybe.
And
So
all just to flex on some kids in a Discord chat.
yeah, I love Spike Cohen to death, but I did not agree with one of his tweets he threw out the other day.
Oh, I don't agree with a lot of his tweets. I love him to death also. 2-time guest on the show, and
Yeah,
I hope a third-time guest sometime in the future.
but
But
no,
I
yeah,
don't always agree with him, obviously. I
yeah.
mean,
From the position that I sit in for my job, I was like, I don't know. I don't think so, Spike, because he said the government shouldn't have any secrets like that. Like nothing. Basically, he was saying like the only thing that needs to be secret, like classified like that, would be like troop movements and stuff. He's like, but there's no reason to do it if all of our troops are home. And I was like, well, yeah, that's a very in a perfect world type scenario, but we don't live in a perfect world, and
well, it's
espionage and shit abounds. So
in a libertarian system, that's how it would work, but we don't live in a libertarian system.
no.
So, and there's a lot of things about libertarianism I don't like.
There has been more tweets because I followed not too long ago also like basically the Libertarian Party itself on Twitter and whoever runs that motherfucker. there's been some tweets they threw out. I was like, woohoo, pump the brakes, Super Chief. Like
Yeah.
we are we are getting very close to fantasy realm now with what you're like would like say you would like to see happen if libertarians were in charge, which like by and large it libertarianism works or would work, but some stuff I'm like, easy. Easy.
Yes. But the thing I like about libertarianism most is less federal government, more state-run government. Government stays out of your business and lets you operate as an adult.
Yeah.
That's,
I think to get on this political horse again, there's things we can take from that and from our current system and kind of meld them together and get the best of both worlds.
yeah,
For what
there's
works.
things from the Democratic Party I like. There's things from the Republican Party I like.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I forgot how we got on that tangent.
Because of that kid.
Oh, did you see the Spike Cohen tweet where he posted a video
The AR-15 bullet and everybody lost their minds?
Yeah, it was. If you haven't seen it, go look it up on Twitter and follow Spike Cohen, whether you agree or disagree with everything he has to post. And he'll be the first to say he doesn't necessarily want you to agree with everything. That's the whole point, is to have
free discourse,
open conversation about it. Yeah. He posted a video of like, it's one of those. Oh, if you've ever seen,
it's a ballistics dummy.
Yeah, ballistics dummy. That's the word I'm looking for. Just completely gets shred apart. I don't even know what it was.
It was like it started out and like it's a slow mo video, and it started out with like a little bullet, but then it's edited to have like a tank round coming through it.
Okay.
So it starts out with the small bullet, and then they like had mashed it together, and it was a tank just blowing the dummy apart. The tank round just like blowing the dummy apart, and he was like, one AR-15 round. What one AR-15 round does to a body? And people were like, I can't believe you would spread this misinformation, blah 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 blah. So then he retweeted himself and was like, "You're right. I'm sorry. This is what one marijuana does to your body." And then these like people got all pissed off again about it again, and he was like, all right, I'm sorry. Like what one? It just like kept going. It just trolled him. It was hilarious.
People were coming for him like the next day still on the original AR bullet thing. Like, oh my gosh, dude, relax. It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, nobody gets it. Nobody gets it anymore.
Bye, Mama Ben. Thanks for coming. Yeah. Twitter's been I've enjoyed Twitter recently, actually. I've been having a good time on the Twitter
wild
website.
Stuff now that it's split to For You and following. There's some craziness that hops up on the following or the For You page.
Yeah, they're almost all of mine is Barstool content. Like that.
I get a lot of golf content, and then
yep.
I've
a lot of golf content, a lot of Barstool content, which is kind of what I think that's the algorithm working in my favor, because I really don't want to see
what you
want to
see.
Shit.
I get a lot of Chiefs stuff, so it's a lot of like Arkansas sports, Chiefs stuff, or it's Arkansas sports, Kansas City sports, golf, and I'm really trying to tell the algorithm to stop showing me like streamer Twitter.
Oh yeah,
because I'm like mad over that. I don't care,
dude. Streamers are kind of dying, man.
Yeah, they're
right. Am I wrong in saying
they're not dying? It's just like there's a lot of people there. Well, I mean, kind of. I guess you could say dying. They're starting to realize that it's way harder to make a career out of it than what they thought.
Yeah,
they're slowly starting to like just drop off. Twitch is also a big factor in that and how they've been treating their people that stream on their platform, because they just came out with something recently, which was like basically, yeah, we're changing how you do sponsored streams, so we'll help you get sponsored streams, but we're going to take 50% of the revenue you make off of those sponsored streams. And everybody was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So well, I think so, and it's fracturing again because there's people moving to YouTube like we did, and then there's people going to this new streaming service that's Kick streaming or whatever it is. I don't know what's going on over there. Apparently there's a lot less rules than what Twitch has, because I've seen some of like the pictures of people getting ready to like stream on there, and I'm like, you're wearing that, and they're okay with that? There's not a TOS violation happening right here?
It's like the the Rumble of Twitter is like the Kick of Twitch now, right?
I don't know. I stopped caring about any of that and following it hardcore when I stopped streaming.
Yeah, me too.
It was the
I
best. It was the best decision, honestly, because it's so tiring and I have enough time in the day to do all of it.
I used to really like going live on Twitch because it seemed like a perfect platform to have a podcast, you know. And it
Yeah.
when we first started on Twitch, there weren't that many people doing podcasts on Twitch,
hmm
and it was good, you know. Especially a couple times when we like had some raids come in and stuff.
Yeah.
It seemed like a really good idea, but then the more you got into it and the more people were getting their accounts stripped and then the whole taking money from people and shit, it was like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, I mean, not that we make anything on this podcast anyway, but I mean, in a perfect world, if we ever did, I don't necessarily want to give that money away
Yeah. I'm not want to
because
like have to fight Twitch with it.
no, all you did was give us a platform, which I'm appreciative for. But in a world where there's a lot of platforms, you don't really want to pay somebody else for the work that you've put in.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's. I mean, I get why they did it because they provided you the platform, but like you're not gonna take that much.
Not to completely change topics, but to completely change topics.
100%.
Rocky the Bone Lady, that was a good episode.
I love that.
I
Was
really
awesome. That was a
enjoyed
great
her.
episode. I sent that's her contact info over to my sister. I need to see if she ended up getting anything. But yeah, that was super sick.
Dude, the
That was a
lights
fun.
flickering.
Yeah,
The lights flickering when we were talking about the ghost in
Henry,
her
dude.
house was like, oh shit, yeah, that's pretty neat. I mean,
It's for real, for real.
yeah, it's one of those things again where every, ghost story, there's some plausible explanation. Could she have had like a light dimmer? Yes. Like it's not proof that there's a ghost, but at the same time, I don't think Rocky had a light dimmer just for, theatrics sake
No.
when she was a guest on the What in the World podcast.
Yeah.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah,
There's
it was really fun. I enjoyed that one a bunch.
and she did say she is putting us into contact with the Ghost Hunters guy to
Yeah,
be a
that'll be
guest on
fun. That'll
one
be
week.
super fun.
That'll be a good excuse for me to have like my studio set up and fully like 100% looking the way that I want it by the time.
Yeah.
That and I'm telling you, I know you're not a big podcast guy. I just sent it to my mom today. The episode or the podcast is called No Man's Land.
hmm
It's kind of like a true crime / horror podcast, but it is from 2022. And to give you kind of the premise of it, so basically it's a high school teacher and some students start investigating like some murders, like some kind of weird, murders that have happened like in this town going back a long time. It's not like recent murders.
Not like
And I don't want to
the Hardy
give
Boys.
Yeah, and I don't want to give anything away, but like through the first 3 episodes, they really start to dig into these and kind of like the spooky nature behind it. There's some like paranormal aspects to the story as well about like the people being involved in these murders, like the people who committed the murders.
Or like involved in the occult.
Not an occult, but like encountering like a demon, and then the idea is that the demon then possesses these people and then they commit murders. It's, and again, this sounds really like woo woo, like okay on the surface, but they get through like the first 3 episodes and it was kind of meant to be just like a little high school project,
Yeah,
it wasn't meant to be huge. And after they got through the first 3 episodes, they're like, and then the kids graduate after the first 3 episodes, and basically they're like, we have something here. Like this
We're
is a
not
story.
gonna stop. Yeah.
Yeah, we got to keep going. So the kids graduate and they keep going, and it turns into 11 episodes in total. And bro, I was fucking hooked. I binged all 11 episodes in one day. They're hour episodes.
I will. Damn.
Yeah, you do the math. 11 hours.
Yes, that's an easy math.
One day.
Yeah.
Started in the morning.
God dang.
Listened to it. I was running appointments, and it was to the point where I was like pulling up to a 2:00 appointment.
Yeah.
And I'm like listening, and I'm like sitting in the car until like the last minute that I have to get out of the car and walk into this house, and then get done with the window appointment, get back in the car, turn it right back on.
Cool.
And like, I was hooked, dude. It's fucking
I'm gonna
really
have to
good.
see. I gotta like make a list because podcasts are gonna be like those long road trip type of things that I'm gonna have to do because my normal day to day, I just no.
Yeah.
brain's
But
too-
anyway,
Yeah.
I found the email for the teacher who started it, and I emailed him. He said he listened to an episode of our podcast and
Nice.
he really liked our work, and he was excited to listen to more episodes.
Huge. We love that.
And B, he said he's got some I don't want to divulge what he's got going on. It's nothing like huge. It's just personal family stuff that he's working through, and it's kind of consuming a lot of his time right now. So he said, give me a couple months to get this settled and I'll reach out to you because I really want to be a guest on your podcast.
I remember you texting me about that, and you're like, "Guys, got some stuff he's working through, but then he'll." And I was like,
Yeah.
fucking don't leave me hanging, dude. What's the rest of the tea?"
Yeah, no,
okay, cool.
and
So like, yeah, no,
I'll tell you.
not
I'll
tea
tell
as in, like,
you
what's
off
going
air.
on with him, but like
Yeah.
I'm talking like I was like, what's the guess? What's he like? What's his story? Why are we having him on? But if it's with the kids, then that's cool.
Yeah, their little podcast blew up, dude. Like, people found it, and then once people found it, they started sharing it on like Instagram and stuff, and it's just, yeah, they did it really well. It's a really and now people are clamoring for season 2, and they're working on season 2. So not only I'm telling you, dude, it's fucking spooky, bizarro shit. Like, I don't want to give anything away, because if you're gonna go listen to it, go listen to it.
What's the name?
And I'm not gonna spoil it. It's called No Man's Land.
No Man's Land. Okay.
No Man's Land. This is the. Can you see that?
Yeah, kind of the reflections through.
That's the art. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it's not super clear. But yeah, No Man's Land, a true crime horror podcast. John Hulme, Hulme, is the guy that I was talking to. John is his name. He was the teacher that, still a teacher, I'm assuming, that does this media high school class. And that's they started doing it and just kept digging and kept digging. It ended up being
a media project for like that class for high school, and it just kept going.
Yeah, and then so those kids graduate, and they kind of become like his colleagues in a sense, you know. And then he gets this next incoming class, and then as they continue to do research, he basically turns. I'm reading in between the lines on this. This isn't like confirmed. So John, if you're ever a guest, if you're listening, John, thank you. And again, if I'm getting this wrong, excuse me. But reading in between the lines, this next incoming class, he kind of is using this now as like using their resources to help as like another project, I'm assuming.
Okay.
So there's more people
working on
working on it and digging and researching and going on location to these places. And the one spoiler that I'll give away, because it's kind of spooky, and this is like the hooker for me. The hooker. No, not that hooker. The hook that drew me in.
Making it worse by explaining it, but yeah.
yeah. Anyway, it all kind of involves this demon that I already talked about, right? And this particular demon, apparently, if you say this demon's name, is when he starts to haunt you, or to like not consume you, but to like consume your thoughts in a way. And it's to the point where they won't say the demon's name in the podcast. They refuse to say the demon's name. And in one of the later episodes, I want to say it's like episode 8, one of the kids that graduated said the demon's name. And like a week later, he had to be checked into like a mental institution.
Oh, shoot.
Because he was having like a break, like a mental break.
Mhm.
And the mom calls this John guy. They play the voicemail that the mom left. And she's like, I don't know what you guys are doing. You guys have been working on this for a while. And I know you're working hard, but I forget the kid's name. So-and-so is in the hospital right now. And whatever you're doing, you have to stop because this isn't cool anymore. Like, she's freaking out.
Yeah.
Like, yo, was a cool little class project, but now this has turned into something different.
Now it's too real.
Yeah, this is like bizarro. And I was listening to it like, oh,
What's
shit,
next?
this is wild. Oh, sorry. I will watch my mouth, Reagan. My bonus daughter's listening, apparently.
Earmuffs, Reagan. Earmuffs.
I will curtail my swearing. But yeah, go listen to it, man. It's, again, 11 episodes, hour long. It maybe not right before bed because
Yeah, nah.
I'm telling you, my skin is pretty thick when it comes to this kind of stuff. And I listened to this Spooky podcast where I'm like, okay, this is fun to think about, but demon, poltergeist, murders, yeah, cool. Again, maybe not.
Yeah.
This one, I was like, yeah, no, I think so. I don't think maybe not. I think
This one's
there's
real.
something to this. There is really something to this. There's a lot of other dots connected also. Again, I promise I'm not going to spoil it. Go listen to it. It's the last thing I'll say.
Okay. Well, I'm intrigued now after that.
Yeah, it's sparking the fire for me too. I don't want to bug John and like continue to email him, but I hope he's listening. Maybe he is listening to this podcast, and then that will spark his desire
We'll
to
see.
come on also and
We're looking
share.
forward to having you, John.
Yeah, that might be a 2-hour podcast.
Special edition podcast.
Yeah, that might be a 2-hour one because I'm gonna have a lot of questions, and I know he won't say the demon's name, but I'm like, I just want to see it like written. I just want to know what it is. You know,
Curiosity's gonna freaking get you
But-
too mad.
they won't even. At one point in time, they had the name written down on the website,
Yeah.
and
took it
they
off.
took it down because they were too afraid that people were gonna say it.
Oh yeah.
They interview this one guy from the town that this all happens in, and he's like, you got to understand, I'm the son of a biologist. Like, I was raised on science and like cite your sources, believe what
Mhm.
you can see and what you can prove. And he was the one who warned them when they were still kind of in the early stages, like, do not say that name. Like, there was a journal that they found in their research where the name was written after
Mhm.
these kids were playing with the Ouija board.
Mm.
And he was like, you have that book? Like, you need to burn that book. I don't think you understand what you're playing around with here. Like, brother, it's
If they don't turn this into like
spooky.
a freaking like mini series on fucking HBO or
It-
something, if Netflix doesn't pick this up,
it could very well, because they
take it
have
from
a lot
podcast
of
to fucking like docuseries. Make a docuseries out of it.
documented video footage of it too, and you can go on their website and look too. I'm hooked. I cannot wait for a season 2 because we all know Alex's love for the paranormal and for the weird and for this realm of things, and this
Yes.
is my wheelhouse. Like, this is right up my alley.
Speaking of that kind of stuff, I want to see the movie The Pope's Exorcism with Russell Crowe. It's a new one. It's out soon.
Is that based on a true story?
I think so.
I'm
Pretty sure it is. double check.
Have not seen
I saw like a
anything
snippet,
about it.
like real fast. I didn't see the actual trailer. I think I was where was I? I was somewhere where I couldn't like watch it, but I saw the name splash across the screen because I think my mom and dad had mentioned it, and I was like, oh yeah, I should watch it. So I might have to pull up a trailer and watch it. It looks fucking crazy. Yeah,
Um,
the Pope's Exorcist is what it's called. Pope's Exorcist.
like I've told you before, I have that friend that watches movies illegally on that website, and he watches those movies and tells me about it. I might have to have him watch that movie for me and then tell me about it.
It's it came out 2 days ago, so it's based on a book. It's based on a true story and based on a book. It's telling the story of Father Gabriel Amorth. He was a chief exorcist for the Vatican, and it paints a detailed portrait of a priest who performed more than 100,000 exorcisms in his lifetime.
100,000?
Yeah,
Oh my word!
yeah. So it has Russell Crowe starring as playing as Father Gabriel, and then let's see.
That's a lot. 100,000 exorcisms. There's no way. I mean,
Yeah, that's all he was the chief exorcist. That's all he did with his life.
some of that's got to be somebody had like the Spanish flu and were like, it's a demon.
I mean,
You know,
probably.
but out of 100,000 too. I mean, I believe this kind of stuff exists out there. I don't know to what degree, bro. One of the guys in this podcast that I'm talking about
Uh-huh.
that committed the murders, he cut out his tongue in the insane asylum so he would never be tempted to say the demon's name again.
Jesus Christ. Should help him.
He was eligible to leave the
Asylum.
asylum he was in and
And-
opted to stay because he was so afraid of this thing. Like, there's something to,
There's definitely
like,
something
this
to
is
that.
either a very coincidental mental break that a lot of people that's happening to a lot of people that triggers something in the brain after you
It's
say
the
this
formaldehyde,
specific
dude.
word.
It's turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, that's what it is. I'm just saying, man. I hope John comes on and talks about it because
I
clearly,
need time before he comes on so I can actually sit down and listen to the podcast before he hops on.
yeah, it's gonna be a month or two anyway. I think so.
Okay.
In the meantime, if you know of anyone, or if any of our listeners know of anyone, I have people in the pipe work right now, but I am in a little dry spell right now of being able to find people who are available
I know my mom wants
immediately.
to come on, so schedule her.
Oh,
for a day.
Mother's Day episode.
Oh,
we
true.
should do Mother's Day episode. We should do with your mom and my mom as guests on the show.
I like that idea. When is that? May?
That
I'm a
will
terrible
be
son.
right around my birthday. Yeah, because I was a Mother's Day baby, and I'm May 13th.
It
so
is
it's right.
Literally
it's like
a month
from now.
away. Yeah, it's a month away,
a flat month.
basically. Yeah.
That would be a great episode, and we could have people comment and ask, like embarrassing child stories.
God, I knew that was going to come up.
You and I. Of course it will. That's half the fun, man.
Yeah, I guess.
But we could just interview them about being moms.
Being moms and how it was raising two upstanding citizens.
Maybe we could even have Kristen join, because I think my mom would probably be live here with me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have
Hi,
two
Mama.
mics.
Yeah,
so
that would make sense.
I could, and in my new space, I could very easily have two people in here.
Yeah.
Ideally, someday this will be a whole podcast studio if we continue to get big.
That would be very sick.
Because then you can retire from the Air Force, and then this can just be our podcast studio.
That would be nice.
And your guest bedroom is right through that door, about 6 steps.
Bless up, I'm moving in.
Abby's wedding weekend. We should.
When
do you leave?
I am planning on coming in probably what days are wedding? This Sunday, right?
It's
Or Saturday?
that it's that
It's
Friday.
the Friday.
Or is it the Sunday?
I have it on the freaking fridge. Hold on, let me take a look. I want to
Pretty sure
say.
it's the 28th, right?
I want to say yes. Hold on.
Oh,
It's
which
on.
is
It's
that
gonna be on the.
Sunday.
It's gonna be the 28th is the Sunday. So I am thinking because I have the Airbnb for like the weekend basically. So I'm thinking I will fly in probably depending on what day that concert is that I have like right then. I think it's on the 24th, which is Wednesday. So I might take leave on the Thursday the 25th to recover from that, and then get on the plane Friday and fly in Friday
Okay.
and then hang out, and then I won't leave until probably Wednesday because I'd like to play golf with you and you go either Monday or Tuesday.
Yes, we will definitely make that happen.
So,
You've been going to a fair amount of concerts there, huh, son?
dude, me and my buddy up here have concerts planned out already this year, tickets bought and everything. So
That's awesome.
we just wanted to do something other than sit at our houses all the time. So we
Yeah.
got time. I'll tell you guys about it. On Thursday, we went to a really cool place in Philly called the Fillmore. And we saw, this is going to be for you guys that listen later that are metalheads. Some of you might know these bands. Alex, you might actually as well. So the first one was called Bleed from Within. I had never heard of them. They're a band that's been around for a while, but they're out of Glasgow, Scotland.
Oh, sick.
Those dudes went unbelievably hard.
Yeah.
It was super cool. So those dudes started, and their show started off. It was intense. It was awesome. And then the next one up was The Devil Wears Prada, which some of you might know them. I love Devil Wears Prada. They're
definitely
good.
know Devil Wears Prada. Yeah.
They're good. They had a couple songs out recently that are newer. That aren't as like heavy as their other stuff. One's called Chemical and one's called Paralyzed, and those are super good. So if you haven't listened, if you want a new listen, go check those out. So they're really good. And the headliner was August Burns Red. And
Definitely know them.
they are hard as fuck, and it was sick.
Yeah.
It was super sick. But me and my buddy are also old, so like we got pretty close to the end of August Burns Red's set. And then we went and raided the merch line for all three bands. My wardrobe is turning into just band tees now, which I'm totally fine with.
And button down Hawaiian Tiger shirts.
This one was from last year I bought this for a luau golf tournament that everybody flaked on me for, so that was sick.
Oh, boo.
So I wore it today. But anyways, yeah. So we hit the merch lines, and then we pre-ordered Wawa, which is basically the same thing as a Quick Trip back there.
Oh, yep.
And we ordered ahead in the app, and we were like, "We're old, we're going home."
Yep.
And I say that like we like left early. We didn't get back home until like 12:30.
Oh, of course, yeah.
But we definitely like left and picked up food because we needed it badly, and then went home. But it was a good concert. The next one we go to, I think, is May 11th. And that one, if I'm remembering right, that one's going to be even harder, like it's even heavier than the one we were just at.
Who's playing in that?
The next one up is a band's called Gojira, and then Mastodon. Mastodon's been around for forever.
Yeah.
And then one of my new favorites, Lorna Shore.
Never heard of them.
Lorna, not very many people have. I thoroughly enjoy the type of music Lorna Shore makes. It's metal. It's very heavy, but it has huge like orchestral, like swooping like musical themes through it. And so they've like melded like some orchestral choir stuff into like it's essentially screamo. Like it's so they got all that going on, and the guy's just like the whole time. And I like it a lot. It's really good lifting music.
Yeah. I
But
went and saw Knuckle Puck and Real Friends last night.
nice. Oh yeah, I saw Mary's thing. Yeah, I saw Real Friends last year with Mag Park. I was very confused when people started moshing for Real Friends. I was like, what?
Oh, they're a mosh band for sure. So they got a new lead singer
Oh really?
3 years ago, and their new lead singer was from a band called Youth Fountain. Um,
That sounds
Youth
familiar.
Fountain was really, really good. Um, I loved their music, and so their lead singer, it was like a tandem lead singer
Mm-hmm.
band. Youth Fountain was, and so since they've gotten this new lead singer, they've definitely shifted gears a little bit to
Mm-hmm.
more of like
Like
because
the metalcore. Not.
more just like pop punk, like
Oh
heavy
okay.
pop punk.
Okay.
You listen to Knuckle Puck, right?
I've listened to Knuckle Puck. I don't like listen to them all the time, but yes.
Yeah, because Knuckle Puck is definitely like a mosh type of band, and Knuckle Puck has been around for 10 years
Mm-hmm.
and have headlined a lot of big tours. And they weren't even headliners last night. They played in the middle. There was an opener
They opened up for, or
from
they played in the middle for Real Friends.
yeah, which I was kind of surprised.
Yeah.
But the openers were a band from Melbourne, Australia. Very good band. I can't remember the name of them right now. Those dudes who come touring from across the pond from other countries, across the pond, Australia, whatever. Um, Particularly, just like I told you about the time that I hosted Trash
Yeah.
Boat,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
From
The UK.
England, the UK somewhere, and those guys fucking go hard. Um, yeah, their bassist peed on. I had to throw out a rug after those. I hosted those guys because their bassist slept on my rug. We ran out of space. Like we were
Yeah.
hosting the entire band and all the people they were with, and so he ended up sleeping on my dining room floor and peed on. I was cleaning up the next morning after they all, get up, get
Yeah.
out onto the next city. And I'm like walking, cleaning up beer cans everywhere. House is trashed.
Squish.
And I'm like, what's spilled here? And I'm like, oh, something big spilled here. Like somebody poured something out on this carpet. I'm like, oh wait, that's where I can't remember the guy's name. That's where what's his name was sleeping. I like get down and I like smell it. I'm like, that's piss.
You
That's
hate it, dude.
piss. That is
That
definitely
sucks.
piss. So that's a rug that I'm never getting back. Um, but yeah, those guys go super hard. And Knuckle Puck was a really good set also. Um, I got in the pit for the last like 3 songs. I really wasn't planning on it. I wasn't not planning on getting in the
I
pit.
made sure to stay as far away from the pit at the concert Thursday as I could. I watched a kid get cold cocked in the side of the head. Like, because
Yeah.
they were out there, like, it's a metal concert, dude. So the dude's like flinging his arms, dude, and he fucking flung one like this, and homie just said "kapow" and took it right on the side of the head. And I was like,
That's that kid's fault, dude. You gotta keep
you
you gotta
gotta
keep
the
arms up.
distance,
You
yeah, you
gotta
gotta
you gotta keep you gotta keep moving because if you don't, you're liable to get
take what.
there's
And that dude, he took it, dude, full fucking fling, just whack right in the side of the head. He didn't fall down, but he was definitely like mother. And I was like, yeah, buddy. And then so the mosh pit was going on. It was cool to like watch people do it, and I was like, right on, dude. I'm way too old for that. Um, and then like I can't remember if it was Bleed Within. I think it was Bleed Within because we were pretty close to the stage for them. The dude just starts going, "Wall of Death," and I was like, "Oh hell no!"
Yep.
So like everybody starts backing up. So like it splits the friggin' like Red Sea, and then we're just like, okay. And then the breakdown happens for the song because like, he's like Wall of Death, and he's getting them all hyped up, right? And then the breakdown happens, and he's like, it goes, and he's like, "Go!" And like they're just like, yeah. I was like, Dude, I was like, maybe when I was younger, I'd get in there and get bloodied up, but not now. Not
No.
now, dude. I would have woken up Friday and just been in all kinds of pain.
I got done after the first song moshing, and I was like wheezing. I'm like, I'm fucking
I did
old,
I
dude.
did
I'm
mosh a
too
little
old for
bit
this.
for Mag Park when we went and saw them. That was our first concert of the year, and that was fine because that's very chill, like small venue,
Yeah.
very small, like pop punk, like kind of mosh. They ended up doing like somebody had started like a conga line at one point, so we just started like conga lining through the crowd. It was pretty fun. But yeah, dude, I was not getting in the pit for the metal concert, and I will not be getting in the pit anywhere close to the fucking pit for the Mastodon concert. That one's gonna go ape shit.
So that venue that I was at last night for that concert is the same venue that Feel Good is playing a show at here soon. I can't remember the exact date, but it's coming up here pretty quick. And last night wasn't quite sold out. It had to have been very, very close.
Mm-hmm.
But this show coming up, this Feel Good and another couple local artists that are good too, has been sold out for a couple weeks. Like it's going to be a big show. I was looking
That's
around
good.
last night, looking at all the people in there. Like, dude, there's going to be this many people and then some for this Feel Good show coming up. Like that's going to be sick.
Feel
I
Good
can't wait
headlining
for
it?
that. No, Feel Good is the openers.
Oh, okay.
Um, there might be one band in front of them, but they've made pretty good friends with these other two local bands that have been playing for a long time. They have a somewhat, I mean, large following like on social
Mm-hmm.
media and stuff, and they've made friends with them. And so I know that there are going to be a lot of people there to see Feel Good because the two bands they're opening for like them a lot, and
That's
they
good.
go to shows and stuff together too.
Hell yeah,
So
that's sick.
it's going to be sweet. I'm super
Good. I'm
excited
glad.
for it.
I'm very happy for Mary and Mac to watch their dream child
Yes.
come to
Go
fruition
stream Feel Good.
and feel
Go
good.
stream Feel Good and Feel Good. That's right.
True.
My wonderful siblings and their band.
Yeah. And
Put
before
out
we
some
get
good
off,
music.
on any more wild tangents, let's shut her down for the night, baby.
Yeah. Time flies, man. That went fast.
It does. I need to shower and go lay down so I'm ready for work tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't believe
Yeah.
it's Sunday.
I'm on a whole new
Weekends fly.
work schedule. Well, okay, so not tomorrow, but yeah, I'm on a new work schedule now. I have to work 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sucks.
That stinks.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the mornings because I don't have to get up before God to go work out.
Yeah.
I can get up and go work out at a reasonable time. But the 7 p.m. is killer.
Yes.
Killer, dude.
That's you can't get like a round of golf in after work.
No,
or
like it literally changed my entire work schedule to where I could do it. I could do a round of golf before work, but I would have to get up at 6 in the morning and hit the course
No.
immediately.
And nobody wants to do that before work. You want to
No,
get
yeah,
off work and
because
go play a quick
I don't
nine.
want to
And
go have a great day. Be like, yeah, I just great round of golf, hell yeah, and then roll into work like, oh, cool.
yeah, time to shower and go to work. That's
Yeah.
not fun.
So,
Not super fun.
not great, but tomorrow I actually have to be up because actually reminds me I better set my alarms now before I forget because if I don't do it now, I will be late and I have a class I have to go to tomorrow morning. Which
Gotcha.
is going to be, I think tomorrow I'll actually work a normal work day because of the class that I have to go to. So I better set my alarm for like, let's say 6:30.
And I'm gonna keep trying to work on and get a guest for next week. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Cool. Anyway, chat. As I said, we're not going to ramble anymore. We rambled. Welcome to What in the World podcast.
Yes.
You guys have a good week. We will be back again next week. Potential guest, maybe. If not, it's just the boys riffing again. Yeah, you guys have a good week. Have a safe week. And as always,
love that energy. Make sure you tell somebody you love them because life is short and it's precious. And it's important to tell people that you love them while they're here, and you have the ability to do that.
100%.
So do that.
I love each and every one of you, my viewers, our viewers. And shout out to our boys in Brussels.
Yes, the boys in Brussels.
The boys in Brussels. We'll get t-shirts made.
Yes. Someday. We
Someday.
will.
We will. We will.
Merch
Someday.
merch is coming. Merch is coming.
Maybe. All right. We'll check you all next week. All right. Have a good one.
Love you guys.